Welcome back to Game Chat. This week we have a review of the new Metal Gear, a new segment called Super Nostalgic Entertainment System. Evan has the roundup of the latest Amiibo news and the long-awaited review of the Destiny expansion, The Taken King. A new year, a new background, Game Chat starts right now.
Good news for any Amiibo hunters out there, exclusive figures may not be so exclusive anymore. Nintendo's figurines that were previously exclusive to Toys R Us have shown up in listings for Best Buy. This could mean that the previously coveted Amiibo will be easier to find. The only confirmed Amiibo are currently Shulk, Greninja, and Lucario. This could be a reaction to the backlash over Nintendo's inability to stock enough Amiibo for demand last year.
It's been a year since the release of the polarizing game Destiny, and it's safe to say that Bungie has definitely learned from the feedback of its community. The first thing people bring up is story, and you'll be happy to hear that there is more story in the first 10 minutes of the first cutscene than all of Year 1 combined. With that aside, Destiny brings back the fun and addictive gameplay. The leveling system has changed since the first year. The new cap is 40 and can be earned through missions and defeating enemies rather than the latest gear you have. Taken King also freshens up the gameplay with a new subclass for each character. Each one is unique and offers a new style of play for everyone. Another complaint of the original game was there was not enough variety of missions and players were left playing the same encounter with the same giant ogre over and over again. With the Taken King, the number of missions have increased exponentially. The main story missions are short, but that is only one step in a long line of quests that even I have yet to fully complete. And finally, the raid, the cherry on top of this expansion. The raid is challenging, requires a lot of communication and teamwork. This is not something you want to do without a headset. Each stage in the fight is unique and offers a challenging experience to any fighter. Some of the quests involve a lot of grinding, but it leads to rewarding missions that expand the lore of Destiny and get you that shiny new exotic you've been wanting. Also swords. They're pretty awesome. Hard to go wrong with swords. Overall, The Taken King is a fun experience for players old and new, and worth the money if you like first-person shooters and loot-based games.
It was the Christmas of 2001, and I was only 5 years old. I'd received a present from my Uncle Joe containing a Sony PlayStation 2 and 2 games bundled with it, Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy and Gran Turismo 3. In fact, these are the same games that I got that many years ago in 2001. There are many game franchises that left an imprint on the mind of gamers. Some people grew up playing Super Mario World or Need for Speed Underground, but there's no series that stands out more to me than the Jak and Daxter series, specifically Jak and Daxter and The Precursor Legacy. Even after playing through this game for several years, it's still really fun and enjoyable. The landscape is great, and the story is really immersive.
I won't go too far into the details of the story because it's something you really need to experience firsthand, but here's a short summary. It all starts with the two boys, Jak and Daxter, completely disobeying the village's sage, Samos, and go off to an island he forbids them to go to, known as Misty Island. While exploring the island, Daxter falls into a vat of dark eco which turns him into an Ottsel. An Ottsel is a fictitious animal that is a combination of a weasel and an otter.
What? Okay. I'm fine.
When they ask Samos the Sage for help, he informs them that the only one who can help Daxter is Gul Acheron, the Sage of Dark Eco.
There's only one person who has studied Dark Eco long enough to have a chance at returning you to your previous form. Gul Acheron, the Sage. But he lives far to the north. Far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the 3 sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while.
From here on, the story unfolds as Jak and Dexter travel this vast landscape in search of the Dark Sage to not only save Dexter, but the rest of the world.
And get some practice on Geyser Rock.
We won't find any more of that dark gooey eco stuff, will we? Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before I turn you both into ferns.
Now let's talk about the gameplay aspect of the game. Well, the story is fantastic. What really sets this game apart from other games of the genre and era is the level design, as it's such a huge, open, and immersive world that you're free to travel at your own pace.
One of my favorite areas to explore has always been the Forbidden Jungle, but that's mainly because as a kid, that's all I was fully able to explore. Playing through it was very challenging and I never really beat it until a few years ago. But having played through it fully now, I must say, the final area you get to go to, Golomaya Citadel, is one of the coolest places in the entire game. It gives off such a creepy vibe, and the first time you look at it, you just know that this level was meant to break you and test your skills.
All things aside, Jak and Dexter and the Precursor Legacy is a game that's aged really well compared to most games of its era. It's aged so well, in fact, that Naughty Dog released all 3 of the Jak and Dexter games in HD on PlayStation 3. I highly recommend picking this up to any fan of the series, or any newcomers who really want to start playing. The PlayStation 2's graphics really haven't aged well and take away from that gameplay a little bit. But however, this HD collection fixes all these problems, and I highly recommend you pick it up.
Lava will definitely heat you up fast. Hit 500 degrees and it's over.
Over? Like burning molten metal over?
That's all the nostalgia for this week, but be sure to tune in next time for another blast from the past.
It's not often that I play a game that completely takes my breath away. I remember the last time I was completely in a trance from a game. It may have been the first time I played Call of Duty 4. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a game that is a step beyond the rest. When I started the first mission in the hospital, Snake woke up from his many-month-long coma and told he had a permanent piece of metal stuck into his head that protruded out like a horn. I was hooked. An hour after that, after I was chased on horseback by a giant flaming man with his red-haired companion, I was dropped into Afghanistan, where I was tasked with taking out a high-value target in an outpost guarded by 50-caliber machine guns and spotlights. The best thing about this was that I was free to complete my task as I pleased. If I wanted to go in silent, I could. If I wanted to call in my helicopter to provide support and gun down enemies while playing Take On Me through its onboard speakers, I could do that as well. The beauty of this game, alongside looking completely breathtaking, is that I can do whatever I want. There is much more than just completing one of the 200+ missions. There is what the game calls a mother base, a place where you can build up Big Boss's private army. You can build different platforms that can house units like R&D, medical, and intel, all of which have an effect on your playing experience. The R&D team, for example, can develop a seemingly endless array of weapons that you can use during your missions. While on missions, Snake can Fulton people and the equipment that will be added to the private army. I currently have 49 hours on this game and just finished the main story. I still have over 100 side missions to complete that will give me access to new equipment and personnel. It really feels like a never-ending game, and I love it. If you're looking for a place to spend $60 in the world of gaming, Metal Gear Solid 5 is the best bang for your buck, and very well, one of the best games in the franchise. If it doesn't win Game of the Year in 2015, someone should call the police. It'd be a robbery.
Welcome to Chattin' Games. Today we're going to be talking about The Taken King. So, what was your initial reaction when you guys first played it?
Well, I definitely was really excited because Destiny is pretty much the only game I play on my Xbox One and really play as of now. So I was really excited, but again, the knowledge, knowing what Activision has done to this game and how much it's changed since its development and an announcement 2 years ago, just stuck with me. And knowing that, hey, this is how it should have been last year on this day. But it's still overall, it's a great experience. Definitely, if people haven't played Destiny before, this is the time to play it and to go pick it up, especially when you can buy the Destiny, Taken King, and the other 2 expansions for $60 compared to stuff like how we've paid for it, $60 for the game, $20 for expansions, and $40 for the Taken King. So definitely time to strike.
Yeah, I would say definitely if you do not have this game yet, definitely go get it right now for the $60 price. You're going to get the whole game, and it's phenomenal. I think I read that there was over 105 quests within just the Taken King, plus the original game and the Dark Below and the House of Wolves. So there's so much to do in this game. And, even if you already have all the expansions, the Taken King you can go back and play all of them again through the Abandoned Quest kiosk. So
That always got me. Like when I first started, I'm like, oh, just a regular story mission, you know. Played it through. I'm like, oh, that was kind of cool. And then like, oh, got another quest, another one, and
yeah,
another one. I'm like, god damn.
yeah. And
So much.
I think that like the fact that people who have already played it are used to like Dinklebot, with Peter Dinklage as the voice, and now that Nolan North is the voice, it's like a whole new kind of experience because there's a different dialogue. There's something different to play through.
Going off of dialogue, having people like Cade and Zavala speak to you throughout the quest is like, wow, this is how it's supposed to be.
Right.
I was blown away by just the first 5 minutes walking through the first mission on Phobos with Zavala talking to me, and then the next mission, Cade telling jokes throughout it. It lightened the mood and made it just added to the playthrough. I can't describe why, but it just made it feel more complete.
You can definitely see hints of it in the House of Wolves. Like the first mission, you had Petra talking to you. You felt like, oh, it's a little more immersive. Like I'm kind of getting a sense for like this new story. And then like the Taken King comes out, you see that like site really seen through all the cutscenes, which you can skip now. Which, thank God, because when I made my character, he had the dumbest face. So when I can skip cutscenes, I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't have to sit through that.
And then playing through other characters is just thankful that we can skip cutscenes finally, because I know I restarted my Titan just because I wanted to play through it with a new experience, and being able to skip all these cutscenes is just fantastic. Even though they're really good, especially the new ones, it's just you don't want to sit through that all the time.
Yeah, I think that definitely the cutscenes add a new aspect to the game, and Nathan Fillion voicing Cade Six was definitely a great choice. Him and Eris's banter of Eris will say something really intense and dark, and he'll be just like, "The hell are you talking about?"
Definitely lightens the mood.
Yeah, it's good.
Then there's also gameplay. I think we forgot to mention that.
We did. We're so focused on the big story that we forgot to mention how even the gameplay has been improved through new leveling systems, and the new weapons are just fantastic.
The new subclasses too.
The new subclasses are very cool. My problem was playing the game the first time. I was so reluctant not to use my old legendaries and my exotics, even though I knew that the new uncommons were better. It was a mindset. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
No, I felt the same. I had my set, my ones that I loved and I carried through what I ascended. I had this auto rifle that I carried through since I got the game that I've been using. It was just sorry man, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
I'm just holding X, closing my eyes.
That's like me in I hoard all my old exotics.
Yeah.
And I have the Vex. The Vex myth class is my baby, personally. And not seeing it, I know it will be coming to Tier 2, but not having it now is just, it was a little hard the first few missions, not using my Vex myth class. But getting the Hawk Moon, when you go through the game for the first time, getting the exotic, the Hawk Moon.
I definitely
eased
think
my sorrows.
that if it's time to buy, this is the time. And the Taken King is a great expansion to Destiny. That wraps it up for Game Chat. We'll see you next time.